what I've got here is a custom UV printed magnet of my two kiddos. But what this video is about is setting up from start this guy, the EufyMake E1 UV printer, because this is my replacement printer that arrived and I want to get back in business UV printing. So in today's video, I'll walk you through the setup. If in case you're new, you haven't seen this, you want to see a real honest review, something down and dirty, what you can expect if you buy one, that's what today's video is going to do. I'm also going to talk to you about some things that I use, accessories, things that I make, things that I have, and tips and tricks on using this machine, as well as tell you why in the world I've already got a replacement machine. All of this and more coming up in today's video from Samcraft. Let's jump into it right after this little funny little musical thing to remind you where you are, because I just told you. Either way, cut it. And we're back. So this is going to be a very natural, plain video. It's not going to be a big video production, but I do want to bring you guys along for what you could expect if you've got the machine and you haven't opened it yet. Maybe you're a backer and you're still waiting on one, or you're thinking, should I order it? Should I not? Let me ingest as much information as I can before I make the investment. This video will do that. So from the box on the table to the finished first print in hand, let's go. So on the side, there are some Velcro straps. You undo the right side and the left side. Then this top box will simply lift up. This is a very good box design by EufyMake. And here we have the printer itself inside of a plastic bag. It does have little detents on the side of the machine, left and right, so you can grab it and pick it up. This separate box is where some of your print bed and accessories are, and then the rest of this is just packaging, so we'll get that out of the way, and I might as well lay that down before it falls down. Peeling off this top diagram, it tells you what is in the box and everything you should expect to receive. You have your printer, and inside the printer you'll see standard bed, adhesive mats, other things like that, power adapters, all that stuff, and then there should be a separate box with your ink cartridges and cleaning cartridges as well. So, very cool. First and foremost, you want to take off this top cover. That simply goes out of the way. Then we have some foam packaging in here to pull up. Looks good. Once you're done with that, this goes right back down in place. Now we will work on opening the front. All right, on your left and your right side, you have some little adhesive stickers. Peel these off so you can open your door next. Simply grab it here, pull it down, and you'll see more items. Grab the, okay, we'll set that on top. Otherwise, grab the box, pull it forward, and that is it as far as things you have to take out. This is a standard bed, it's locked in place, but if you want to remove it, slide that over, pick it up, and that comes out as well. For now, I'll leave it in the machine. Spinning the machine around to the back, you do have the same kind of stickers on the left and right side, holding the back door closed. So go ahead and take those off. And then if you want to, you can remove your protective plastic coating. I'm going to leave mine on for now because I was really bad to get this scratched up on my first unit, and I want to preserve it. So I'm going to leave this here. It doesn't affect the machine's operation, and Sam is like a bull in a china shop, so the more protection I can have, the better for my machines. Otherwise, you're done on the back side. Spin her around and continue on with the next step. Inside this box, which was inside the printer, we're going to find safety glasses, power adapters, power cable, wrenches, things, and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and open this guy up, take a look at what we have. First thing first, here is your air filter. It's activated charcoal carbon filter. I'm going to set that to the side. I won't install that, but I'll tell you guys why here in a second. We have our AC power adapter, our power cord, which goes into the wall all together. We have an Allen wrench, our UV safety glasses, very good to have. 3 ceramic magnet blanks. This is to do your first machine print on and to have to test around with. Very cool. And that's it for this little box. In the larger box, we have our quick start guide. It's this big piece of paper right here, full graphics, QR codes for the app, everything you need right here on this quick start guide. Very nice. I'll set that guide to the side. Then we have the sticky mat for the standard bed. And so this is how big that standard bed is. Below it, we then have the bed itself, which is this guy, pre-installed calibration mat here. And on the back side, a little bit of packaging there, some foam pieces there, and then the actual bed mechanism with its linear rails. If you notice, I slid it and it locked. That's fine, no big deal. It unlocks when you put it in place. So if you do that, you've not messed up anything. It's okay. You've not broken your machine just yet. So don't freak out. Following the quick start guide, which is down here on the piece of paper, first thing you do, unpack everything out of the printer, plug it up to the power, install your ink, install the cleaning cartridge, and then put your filter in. We're on step 2 right now, which is plug up the power. So the power port goes right here on the left side, right down at the bottom. Plug it in, and that's it. There's no power on-off buttons because you don't really ever want to turn this machine off. While it's booting up, let's go ahead and open up this ink and cartridge kit. Let you guys see this. So the cool thing about the EufyMake is it comes with cartridges. You have your cyan, your magenta, your yellow, your K, which is your black, your W, which is white, and G is gloss. So if you need individuals, presumably, you buy what you need, you refill only what you need. It's not one big giant color cartridge that you're stuck with if you really only need cyan and you have to refill everything. So anyway, individual boxes, individual cartridges. The important thing to look at are the dates on these. I think they're starting to put expiration dates on them, or used by dates. Maybe I need to open this up one more step. Let's check it out. Yes, okay. This says used by January 16th, 2026. Well, that's a bummer. Today is February 10th, 2026. This is not new. I've had this in my shop for a while. So maybe I need to find another ink box. Maybe I've got a newer one somewhere. Because, again, replacement machine, and it didn't come with ink. Phooey. Alright, let me turn the camera off and start digging. Maybe I've got ink somewhere that's not expired. Alright, I found 3 other boxes. Let's see if any of these are in date. I'm a little concerned they may not be. I've had these for a while. I got my first machine in, I think it was September of 2025. And gosh, if you follow my channel a long time, you'll notice that I put out some content, some teaser content about it, but I never actually did a full video. It's because that machine was a little bit tricky. Okay, this is just white and gloss. Not exactly what I'm looking for. But that's cool, right? Unless it's expired. Okay, white and gloss. Starting to see a pattern. Third time's a charm, I hope. Okay, good. Well, it's at least the right thing. Let's see if this is in date still. This is great packaging, but it's really wasteful. Hopefully their refills, and as they get more developed on their product line, it'll be a lot less wasteful. Okay, this says January 16th of 26, so this is the same expiration date as what I opened up earlier. That's all I got, so I'm just going to send it. If we have bad print results, we'll know why. Alright, you are out of the way. Let's go back over here where I was previously and continue on with opening up the ink. Now this is interesting. This is the magenta, but its use date is March 20th, 2026. So this is good until March 20th, but this expired January 16th. Interesting. I would have expected them to be around the same date. Let's see what the yellow shows. Alright, expiration date for yellow is March 20th, 2026. So same date as magenta. April 16th, 2026. So that's even further out. As in the future, not expired out. And April 9th, 2026 for the black. Let's check out old Mr. Gloss. Old Glossity Gloss. Mr. Glossy McGloss Pants. April 3rd, 2026. So we've got quite the spread here. Expired in January, good till March, April, April, April. Let's see if the cleaning cartridge has an expiration date. I don't know if it does. but we're about to find out, right? Okay, it does have an expiration date. This one says used by April 2nd, 2026. And this is all the assumption that their date code is less American and more international of day, month, year. The reason I say that is because the cyan was 16/01/26, and to my knowledge, we don't have 16 months in the year. Okay, so everything is opened. Goodness, what a lot of packaging, right? But here we have the individual cartridges. Even though this is expired, I'm gonna send it, it's all I got. So I'm gonna open up these individually, move you guys over to the top of the printer, and so you can see how these cartridges load in. Spoiler alert, it's really super simple and easy. I feel obligated to give you guys this information. Maybe a disclaimer, but the information. The ink and the cleaning cartridges, they got some nasty chemicals in them. Don't load them barehanded. Grab some gloves. It's not included. Grab some gloves, put them on, and protect yourself. If you're doing this for any length of time, which if you invest in a machine, you're in it for the while, protect your handsies. We all like our hands. We all like our health. So let's not risk it for loading ink cartridges. Besides, now we can look like one of those cool faceless YouTube channel people doing cool stuff. On the top of the machine, right here at the back right corner, this is where your cartridges go. I'm going to remove this top cover so you can kind of see a little bit better. You have your status LEDs, they're all flashing red. It's because they're empty. Let's go ahead and fix that problem. We'll start first with the gloss because I'm going to work from the right to the left just because that's what I want to do. Tear open our package and then load it up. However, on Facebook, I've been reading about people asking about ways to prolong the life of their ink. Some have asked, can you shake it? Can you invert it? Can you give a little twisty twist? But no one seems to know the answer. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know, a couple of somersaults for good measure and load it. This is not science-based at all, but it's what I'm doing. One click, push it in, green light, good to go. Push it in, and then down to click. And with that, we have the cyan in place. All the ink has been loaded up. I'll go ahead and put this top cover back in place. Again, I'm gonna leave the stickers on this. I don't know, is there a reason why? Probably not. But what we need to do next, keep our gloves on. We're going to the right side of the machine and we're gonna install the cleaning cartridge next. All right, here on the right side of the machine, this is the cover, you just pull it straight out. You want to take these little red caps off, pull them straight off. You have 3 of them, 2 on the bottom, 1 at the top. Then you get your cleaning cartridge, very similar to the ink cartridge as far as appearance and everything, with your gloves on. Open it up, and with out of the package you can see it's called the Jet Clean, it's a trademark. It's the cleaning cartridge. It tells you this side up, this faces out. The biggest thing you want to do is make sure the 2 little dots are at the bottom, the ones at the top, and just put it in correctly. To install it, simply place it right there and push it straight back. There you go. Maybe your machine will ding, or it's doing that because I accidentally pressed the button whenever I went to push this in. Regardless, make sure it's firmly seated in there. Then replace your cover. And now we're done. We can remove our gloves, or keep them on if we want to stay cool. It's up to you. So the ink is loaded, the cleaning cartridge is loaded, and the next thing, according to the quick start guide, is to install the air filter. I'm not going to do this. And the reason I'm not going to do this is because I have problems with the fumes from the resin printer, the UV resin printer, causing headaches with me. This is what my first machine had issues with. I have a whole separate video talking about that and showing you how I fixed it and mitigated it. But what I'm going to be installing instead of the filter is a product that I actually designed 100% myself, manufacture myself, and offer to sell. And it's basically a fume extraction system. So here they are, gray and black. I have 2 different color options. These are, again, designed by me completely. I went through multiple iterations, multiple designs, styles, configurations, then tested out materials to print with for this to be heat resistant, stable, solid, and really be something you buy once and never have to replace to come up with this. It's available in gray or black, so whatever color you want, you can order it that way. I'll put a link down below, but this is what I'm going to be using instead of the filter. This does install instead of the filter. You can't have them both because the way this is designed, it fits into the slot where your filter fits, and there's just no clearance to have them both at the same time. So whether you have this or not, I'm not telling you to do one thing or the other. I just want to explain why I'm not installing the filter and what this is that you're about to see me install, and I will always have and use in my machine. Because again, one of the natural byproducts of UV printing, which is UV resin printing, is that smell. The resin just has a smell. And while this machine does have its filter and its own little ventilation system, it wasn't enough for me. I had headaches all the time. But once I had this, then hooked up to a fume extraction system, which is very similar to what I use with lasers, I don't have headaches anymore, and it's made it so I can use my machine again, which is huge. So there you go. Sam's spiel over. Let's install the extractor and keep on going with this thing. So on the front of your machine, you open the door. This is the panel where your air filter will install, or your extractor will install. You just pull it off. It's held on by little magnets, so don't worry about breaking it. Just grab it, pull it off. This is the cavity that the filter goes in, or in my case, this is where the extractor goes in. Whether you want the black one, like that, it's a snug fit on purpose. Or you want the gray one, which is what I generally run with. It's a little bit lighter. It slides in like that. It doesn't obstruct with your door, little latch. It doesn't obstruct with your view, your line of sight. You still have full access to look down into it. And then it puts your exhaust port at the top, which from all my tests, I mean, I had versions where it went to the right, went to the left, and up the top. I chose the top because it keeps the hose out of the way. That way, as you're using your bed, front and back, moving around, I don't know, it just works best in my opinion. Okay, so that's one of my new ones, so I'm not going to leave this guy here because I've got my old trusty one down here in the floor. That's the guy I'm going to fish out and put into my UV printer now. All right, so as you can tell, durable, because I am a bull in a china shop, remember? So this guy slots right in, pushes into place, and then this hose can just do whatever the hose wants to do. Whether you're like me and this thing goes back and over to the left, or it goes right to the left, or to the right side, I don't know. It's out of the way. It's a 4-inch hose adapter, because 4 inches is what I use, but I've also got some adapters I'll make for air purifiers. If you got a different size you want, hit me up, send me an email. I'll make a custom size for your hose. All right, that's all done. Let's kick the tires and light some fires. Now we're at the point we can get our mobile device, install the EufyMake app, and connect to our printer. This is the way I'm going to do it. There may be a way to connect to this through your computer, but this is the way I do it. Once you have it set up through your account on your phone, you can absolutely use the computer software, which is what I do all the time. Very rarely have I print jobs from my phone, except for my kiddos, which actually it still works great, but I like to work from a computer. Regardless, let's go ahead and start some screen recording here. All right, so go ahead and sign up for your account, or if you're like me, click on sign in, go ahead and get into the app, and I need to add a new machine. I have a machine currently, that one's getting shipped back. This is the replacement, so let's add the machine. Real quick, if you're wondering why I'm sending my other one back, here's the reason why. It's giving me an abnormal waste ink pump pressure detected error message, along with a couple other different things. This is also where I really want to talk about how good EufyMake's support is. I've had a lot of issues, but every single step of the way, the company has been quick to reply, very good to help send parts, and at this point, they got to the point where they're like, okay, we've done different ink cartridges, we've sent you different print heads, now you're getting a pump tank error, let's go ahead and get you a new machine. They did it, no problem. So that's good. This also echoes with other people's user experiences that I've seen, not on Facebook, because Facebook is where we all boo-hoo and cry and complain, but in the actual EufyMake Discord group, where it's a little more constructive, a little more technical and educational, that's where I think you see people kind of like me, where you say, look, we got a problem, here's how we fix it, good, let's go. So take it for what it's worth. Remember, Facebook's just a bunch of junk anyway. All right, so we'll click OK to this one. Let's go back, and I want to go to Devices down at the bottom. Click on the plus sign at, oh my goodness, plus sign at the top. Stop it. Plus sign real quick. Whew. Add a EufyMake E1 printer. This is going to be a wireless connection, but I absolutely love they have the option for a wired connection. Very nice. But we'll go ahead and do wireless for now. Let's go ahead and scan it, because I don't want to do Bluetooth because it might see the other one in the other shop. So sure, you can have access to my camera. we'll go ahead and scan the QR code, which is on the left side of the printer. Hey, look, it's you guys. Yeah, anyway, focus, Sam, focus. Da-da-da-da. Scanned our code. Da-da-da. Press the blue button on your printer to confirm the initialization. And after we put in my Wi-Fi network name and password, it is connecting to the network. Phoning the mothership. All sorts of dings and sounds going over my shoulder, but we have successful activation. Tapping next. Let's go ahead and give our printer a name. I'm not original. UV Petitioner, because I have sausage fingers. I'm just gonna name it UV printer. I mean, what does it matter? I'm not gonna have two machines for very long here. All right, so now it wants to update the firmware, and yes, I will do that. So we'll tap update, and depending upon your network speed and the update size, I don't know how fast it'll take, but it's already downloaded. That's pretty cool. And now it's installing. So we'll let it do that, and I will see you guys whenever we have something cooler to show. Honestly, that didn't take very long, but the next thing we have to do right here on my screen is device initialization. So we'll go ahead and tap on start. Check the status really quickly, and now it shows us what it's about to do. It's going to check the status. It's going to inject ink, which can take 28 minutes. Notice these time stamps on the screen here. After that, we'll do a test print, about 7 minutes, a camera calibration for 7 to 10 minutes, and in total, which I really like this, by the way, EufyMake says, hey, just so you know, you're going to be doing this for the next 43 to 46 minutes. So go to the bathroom, get some snacks, put the kids to bed, do what you need to do because you're about to be busy with your new friend, the printer. So let's go ahead and do that next. We'll tap on start, and here's where it's doing the status check. That was fast. Tap on next, and this is what's going to take a while. This is the injecting the ink portion. It's going to go through each individual inks, the cyan, magenta, yellow, black, or K, the gloss, the white, and all that stuff. Inject it all, do its magic, and prepare it to print. So with the magic of video, let's skip ahead. I'll see you guys my time 20-something minutes later, but for you, as quick as I can snap my fingers. So here on the app, I've got the print bed ready. I have the piece of paper left alone, the white paper in there, didn't touch it. Hopefully you haven't done that either. So what I'm going to do now is tap on next, and hopefully we'll do our first test print. Since we are beginning to print, I'm also going to turn on my fume extraction. So this little remote goes all the way over here to the corner where I have a fume extractor right there. And so what this is going to do is get the fumes out of the shop, because again, they bother me, and it helps keep everything nice and odor free. Now, one other thing that on my video that I talked about doing this and showed it, a lot of people talked about how it wouldn't work with the doors open, and especially with the large standard bed, and it actually does. That's because the actual space that this is printing in is super close to your print bed. So think of this as a vacuum cleaner right there at the source, sucking up all the fumes. It still works. I've used it on the big bed, not had any issues, and apparently I'm really sensitive to this, so I'm confident that it does work. Even though you wouldn't think it would, just the amount of space it's actually back there extracting the fumes, it does work, which is great, because otherwise I would be up a creek without a paddle. So in the position that you guys are right now, there is UV light leakage, but normal humans won't be down and up in its business all that bad. If you wanted to, which absolutely with the mini bed, run it with the cover closed. That way you're fine. But if you're using the standard bed and you need to have protection, say you're at an event, definitely use your glasses, put up a cover, or at least make sure people are not sticking their heads down up under here like the camera is now, so that their eyes are protected. It's not a laser, but it is still a UV light, and so we don't want to hurt our eyeballs because we all only have two, and just, you know, do what you can to take care of them. As you can see though, once the print bed starts moving along a little way, all of that UV light leakage pretty much disappears because the front edge of that print bed has pretty much covered it up. So the worst you're going to get of that UV light splashing around is whenever it first starts, if your print job is close to the front of your print bed. All right, as I overlay on the screen, you're going to see what the app tells us to look for that are good results or bad results. At the same time, I'm going to take a look here at the actual printout and look at everything and see how it compares. I'm looking for uniform color, saturation, and printing. I'm looking for the rectangles to be in line and it not to have anything really missing. As I look and get really picky, this magenta, which is the reddish color, is the one that has a couple of rectangles missing towards the bottom, which would have been when the print started. There are a few rectangles missing towards the top as well. So on my test print that I'm about to do, like a real actual print, I'll keep an eye on it on the color quality. And if it looks questionable, that magenta is going to be the first one that I suspect on needing to replace. However, in the interest of time in this video, I'm going to tap yes on the test print as far as the quality looking good. The second screen here is asking about the color patch, so it's the large ones here. They do look good. Even the magenta one there is uniform, doesn't have any splotches, no smudges. It's got some crisp edges, and I think it looks good. So I'm going to tap yes here. And now it tells us test print successful. All right, we'll tap on next here. And now we have to do the camera calibration. Actually, I messed up. I was getting too distracted talking and trying to film. I should not have printed this camera calibration on the same piece of paper because it's printing some black designs that look very similar to QR codes. And once it's done, then it's going to try and scan them, and I suspect it's going to freak out because my color print test is also on the same piece of paper. You can see the QR codes in the corners. I wonder if it's going to work because they're not exactly overlapping. I guess we'll look at the app here and see what it says. Hot diggity dog, it works. Awesome. So, I was wrong. You don't have to do the color print test, remove this, install another piece of paper, and then print the 4 codes for the camera calibration. Great. I'm glad that I caught it this time. I missed it last time. What we're going to do now is remove this because our test prints are done, and we're going to install the sticky mat, or the actual print mat itself. I have seen that some people will leave this white sticker on and then install their sticky mat. I'm not a huge fan of that because there is a tiny lip around this, and you raise it up a hair with that white sticker being left there, and I'm afraid I'm not going to line up the sticky mat exactly right. Now, if you're wondering, does that really matter? Yes, unfortunately it does. And I say unfortunately because, well, let's talk about the origin issues with this printer. This is the sticky mat. You put it on and it's a sticker. It can kind of move around a little bit on this bed. The way the EufyMake E1 operates, and especially the way it calculates your 0-point alignment, is not with mechanical stops. It's with the camera taking pictures of this mat, that green corner, and putting it together from a camera aspect. So, however you align this and place it and move it around is going to change your 0 point. Or rather, it'll change your 0 point compared to mine. So as you get into using your machine, the 0 point calibration is useful, but understand it's not fixed to the bed and the machine stops. It's still an optical calibration, at least as of the making of this video. I don't know if it can be fixed or changed. I wish to goodness EufyMake would have made it a mechanical fixed origin, but it's not. Again, at this time it's not. Maybe it will be. That also has a lot to do with jigs and fixtures and the lack of any being available on my shop for now. If it changes in the future, I'll be sure and let you guys know. But for now, I've not had great repeatability results with a fixture across the entire print bed because, again, it relies on that camera. All right, anyway, I digress. Let's move on. So I'm going to apply the sticky mat. We're going to get it good and centered. Then we'll put down something else called the Samcraft FatMat, which is a sacrificial or reusable mat. That way I can overspray on my designs. Then we'll actually print something. My goodness, all these things. Sorry, this is taking a while. But hey, here we go. So we have the mini bed right here, miniature print bed. You want to make sure you line it up. There's a little dip in the front right corner. That lines up and corresponds with the corner that's been cut off. So flip it over, peel off this clear section. Save this though, set it to the side. You may want it later on. And then, as careful as you can, line your bed up within the grooves, knowing that you can peel it off and restart if you need to. So at least it's not a permanent adhesive. But it does lay down there right between your little grooves. Make sure it looks good. You want to try and get it as straight as possible. It is not a perfect fit. So really closely looking, this mat is pushed all the way to the top. There's a tiny gap down here at the bottom. So I'm looking at that gap, and it is at least uniform. On my left side, it's good. It's not skewed. It looks fine. So give it a nice good press. And our sticky mat is installed, which of course it comes with a plastic covering. I'm going to leave this plastic covering in place because what I'm going to install and what I use otherwise is this, which is a Samcraft FatMat. This is a special formulated silicone that I can lay right here. It's cut to match the mini bed or the standard bed. I have large sizes and small ones, and this is reusable. It is tacky in and of itself. It allows objects to sit there and not slide. I mean, okay, if you get crazy with your printer, it'll slide, but you never print at that angle. It allows you to sit it here. I can overspray my designs, and when I'm done, pull it off, take it like this, stretch. If I need to, spray with alcohol, wipe that resin right off, and then put it back and keep using it. This way I don't ruin and wear out my sticky mat. In the event I really need it, it's here. Otherwise, this is what takes the brunt of the work and is reusable for me. That way I'm not wasting money with paper, painter's tape, or ruining my sticky mat. This is what I like to use. I also have them for sale on my website if you want to pick one up for your printer. Shameless plug. Putting our mini bed on there, locking it down. Then we'll take our Samcraft FatMat, place it on there just like that. Good to go. It doesn't have to be perfect and exact because I'm using the camera for alignment. So that looks good. And now what I'm going to do is grab one of these ceramic coasters. This is what you get with your printer. And I'm going to put it as close to the center of the machine as possible, and also align it, hopefully, straight on the mat as well. Looks pretty good. So let's close it up and let's go back to the app next. Okay, everything's loaded. Our little rectangular magnet is sitting on the print bed. Let's go ahead and print something, finally. So all within the app, tap on Create at the bottom left. I want to print a photo, so I'm going to click on Print Photo option. I will limit the access to my camera roll because I don't want it having everything. I'm going to go to Collections and Favorites, and I'm going to pick one of my kiddos. One of the few times they were getting along so nicely. Let's choose that one. Looks good. That's the one we want to do. UV printer, yes, that's the correct one. I have the mini flatbed installed. Yes, that's correct. Design alignment, photo alignment. Absolutely. I want to use the camera. I want to align it graphically or at least visually. If I wanted to use 0 point, that's where I could change it, but I'm not doing that for this. Print material, let's go ahead and choose ceramics because it's a plain ceramic magnet. And first, let's take a snapshot. We have our snapshot taken, and here on the screen I'm going to zoom in just using my fingers. As I hold this and move it around, I like how it makes your image halfway see-through so you can see where it is in relation to your object. Obviously I need to scale this down, so I'll just take the top right corner, pull it in, and try and scale this down as much as I can. I'm going to make it oversized so that the whole magnet is at least colored. So now I got to be creative and choose where exactly to crop it at. So I'm going to go down to the bottom right and choose on the little button that says flat, because I want to tell it I just want a flat print. I don't want to do textured or nothing like that. And the ink mode, white CMYK, that's fine because I want at least a white layer of UV resin for my base and then the CMY color on top of it. So that's fine. The default is 5 layers of white though, which seems a little bit high. So I want to turn that down to 3. And then as far as 1 layer CMYK, honestly, that's probably fine. Let's just leave it. Let's not get too fancy. So swipe down to close that menu, and looks great. So let's tap on print at the top right. We have one last double check of your settings. So here, you know, your print settings, you're using mini flatbed, photo alignment, you're doing a ceramic, all that stuff. Yep, sure, great, print it. So sending it from the phone over to the device, and now let's put the camera at the device and let you at least see something, and then of course the end result when it comes out. Alright, while this bad bamma jamma is off and printing, over here on the phone, which is in the app, you can get your print status. So right now we're at about 13% along the job. It shows that we have about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left, so that is nice. I can also scroll down and see my ink levels and any other kind of maintenance things if I wanted to. This section, in case you're wondering what this is the device section. See down at the very bottom how the devices icon is lit up, or at least dark? That's what this is. So it's not a menu that only shows when you're printing. This is the menu of your device. While I'm here, I do want to scroll down, go to settings, and I want to enable the remote printing control. This will allow me to start a print job from my computer or my phone and not have to physically touch the machine. That's handy where my shop may be larger and I'm not always sitting beside the machine. And then I want to turn on this reprint option. This will allow me to load, unload, go over and over and reprint jobs. This reprint option is new, so I like that. I definitely want that on. Otherwise, scrolling back and go back out of settings and up to the top, we see we're at about 59% of the way done, so that's great. We'll go ahead and let this guy finish out and we'll see how it looks. And there we have it, guys. 4 minutes 55 seconds later, with only using 0.31 milliliters of ink, we have our test print done. So take it right off the mat and let's take a look at that. Let's see what this quality looks like. All in all, it looks really good. I mean, it looks just as good as a photo printer at home. There are a little bit of lines on this as far as left to right. That might be that magenta issue creeping in. I'm not sure. Maybe I should have done a couple more layers of CMYK, but for a little magnet, what is this, maybe like a 2" by 3" magnet, and from a distance it looks great. It's also perfectly good, ready to go, fully cured. It is a little bit sticky, which is kind of how the UV stuff is, at least when it first comes out, but not bad. It's not leaving any residue on your hands. Now, let's go ahead and talk about this mat, right? Because I'm like, oh, look how great it is. Here's what you do. When you get to the point, which after one print, that's still no problem. You can still lay stuff on top. It's not going to mess with your alignment or measurement. But when you're ready to clean it, I have a microfiber cloth. I have some regular 90% isopropyl alcohol. All you have to do is spray it. Let it sit there for, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds, enough for the alcohol to get in there and to release the resin from the actual mat. And then you wipe it off with the microfiber cloth. So I have it sprayed, it's been sitting. I'm going to use a metal business card and just carefully do that. It's really not needed, but this way it keeps it from getting under my fingernails. And that's all you really need to do. That, then wipe it off with the microfiber, or just a paper towel probably would also work. I just tend to buy these in bulk and it's what I have. Give it a couple of wipes and you're good to go. Totally reusable, not messed up, and ready to go back in the printer and be used again. Guys, if you're still here, you are awesome. And if you're still here, just leave a comment. I am awesome. And I'll know exactly what it means. Other people won't, but I'll know and I will agree. You definitely are awesome, because I have really just been long-winded today and I don't know why, but sorry, that's how I am. Anyway, this test print looks great. Tony the Tiger would approve of that. And even better, my wife's gonna be tickled for this. This is one of her favorite photos, because again, it captures our two boys in one of their, aw, kids are actually kind of cute moments, which is few and far between. But hey, it's life, it's great. And now it is a really awesome ceramic magnet that'll go in the house to our fridge, and maybe I'll get a couple of brownie points for being in the shop for so many hours just playing around. Either way, if you're still here, I appreciate it. If you got any questions on setting up your EufyMake E1 printer. If you have any questions about, thinking about buying it, should I not, you can leave a comment down below. I'll definitely help you out as much as I can. While I just set this machine up today, I have had that other machine since October, maybe September. My memory's wonderful. So I've had it, I put a lot of miles under it, I've done a lot of maintenance to it, and I have a little experience as far as using it on different substrates, even though I haven't yet been able to show that in my content. Hopefully though, this new machine here in the shop will change all of that, because I have a lot of stuff I want to do and use this machine with that I also want to bring you guys along for. One of the many things that's on my list to do is a custom vehicle plate for my brother who has a business. He was talking the other day and I was looking at his work truck and I said, wow, your tag looks really faded. And he said, yeah, I need to get another one, but I don't know, it's kind of a hassle. And I said, I've got the tool that could do it. So that's one of the things I want to do next, is a full-on UV printed vehicle tag, but then have some time to see how well does it hold up. Right, hit it with the pressure washer, clean it, let it sit out in the sunlight, and do some torture tests. So that's just one of many, many ideas that I'm going to do and use with this printer that I'm really excited to add this machine just into my shop for general maker projects and other cool things as well. If you got content ideas, things you want to know, things you want to see me do with this machine, definitely leave me a comment down below as well. I really like getting inspiration from you all. I know that if you want to see it, it's a good thing, and it helps me to figure out what exactly to show and tell with the channel, because sometimes it's easy to forget. There are also links to the printer and other things down below if you want to check them out. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you guys next time in the workshop.